welcome. It is time for another motorcycle adventure, and I am joined by my friend Mitch and my friend Emerson. He's riding on a KTM. Mitch is on a Scrambler 1200 XE, and I am on my Tiger 900, and we are all going on the longest motorcycle trip that any of us have done. We are heading to Tahoe and then the California coast. It is currently almost 6:30 in the morning, so we are going to get going before it gets too hot. Alright, after riding through the grueling heat of the Nevada desert, we finally made it to Lake Tahoe, and so far it looks beautiful. But we're going to explore most of the lake tomorrow morning. For now, we're going to grab some food, this restaurant behind us, and grab a beer and enjoy the rest of our evening relaxing, because that ride was absolutely intense. 8 hours through 100-degree heat. Yeah, we're all exhausted. Right, Mitch?
Yeah.
Good morning. It is our one full day in Tahoe today before we head out to the coast tomorrow morning. I'm just taking a nice little stroll around the Airbnb that we're staying, and it's beautiful here. It's just surrounded by these pine trees everywhere. But today's plan is to pretty much ride around the lake and do a full circle around it, maybe hit some offshoot roads here and there, but kind of take it nice and easy, not do like a full day ride again, because we were pretty much exhausted after yesterday. And yeah, take it easy, take a dip in the lake, grab some food in town, and just check out the scenery here around the lake. So I'm very much looking forward to it, because I've been wanting to see this area for a while, and so far I just got a little glimpse of it, but it is gorgeous, and it feels so fresh. And just, it's nice and cool. Definitely a nice change from riding through Nevada all day yesterday, but should be a good day.
As it turns out, with a lot of my trips, the easy days are never actually easy. We decided to go and try out a section of the Northern California BDR, and that ended up taking a majority of the day. But we were treated to some incredible views and some fun but challenging off-road riding.
quick little update. Mitch and I, we decided to split off and head back towards the paved road. Emerson went on to do the rest of the section of the BDR because, I mean, he's way better rider than us. So we decided to head back and loop back towards Tahoe to, yeah, because I still want to do a loop around the lake, or at least half a loop, and see more of the lake. And with how fast, at least I felt how fast I was going, I think the other section of the BDR would have taken a good chunk of the day before we even got back. So I was okay with turning back, and that's what we're doing now. We found pavement. Glorious, glorious pavement. It's a road, Gleb. It's a road. It's a road. It's a road.
We're just bad.
That wasn't that bad at all. We're just not very good. I wonder how Emerson is doing. We just suck.
We're just
yeah.
not good. We're not
Emerson is way better than us.
We don't suck. We're just not good.
Yeah.
We're just not good.
But the other trail involved like 60 miles more of off-road. Maybe, I don't even know.
And Mitch is
Hell,
50.
what if there's a paved road right after the reservoir and Emerson's like already back at Tahoe? But
Mitch's 50-year-old knees are...
we made it back to
34-year-olds.
pavement, and now we're gonna book it back towards Tahoe. Yeah, because I still want to do a ride around the lake, at least around half the lake, and I didn't want to get back super late in the day, so that's why we veered off. Emerson's way more adventurous than either one of us, so he's probably going to be moving a hell of a lot quicker without us anyways.
Yeah, honestly.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
And it was his idea. He's the one that suggested it in the first place, so it's not like we ditched him halfway through.
No, I think he was like, get lost, guys.
Pretty much. He's probably tired of us. We're slowing him down.
I think it's some more water out of your...
Oh, yeah, go for it. So, yeah, we're going to head back towards Tahoe, grab some food in Auburn, and yeah.
If I can find it.
Sometimes it takes a minute.
It's hard to find the right spot sometimes, you know? Okay.
I feel like it's a little emptier, so it's a little more like tucked in there.
Yeah. There we go.
It's probably warm.
It's water.
It is water.
It's not bad.
Good. At least now my bike looks like a true adventure bike.
And my jacket.
And
looks
so does
like
Mitch's.
I actually got my
And-
money's worth out of my jacket finally.
Yeah, I feel dirty.
Oh, dude, look at the front of my bike though. I plowed into that.
Yeah.
road.
I hope I got that on video.
I hope you did too. I don't know if I did. I hope I did.
Even though we cut our off-road section a little bit short, we were still treated to some beautiful views on the small paved road on our way back towards the Lake Tahoe area. Eventually, we did end up meeting back up with Emerson, and all three of us made our way back to the lake.
We have made it to Lake Tahoe after a good bit of off-roading. that Mitch and I cut short. Emerson kept going, but we all met up in the end, and now we're at Tahoe. The water is a little chilly, but it feels amazing after the heat and all the off-roading we did today. It feels pretty damn nice. So we're gonna chill here for about an hour and then make our way back to our Airbnb. Good morning, everyone. So after spending a couple of nights here in the Tahoe area, we today are going to be heading towards the coast. So we got about 5-6 hours of riding to do today, and we're going to be camping out at Dillon Beach at Lawson Landing. There, it's a campground. So gonna be definitely on-road riding today, just highway rides, and hopefully we'll make pretty good time and get to the coast and see what's along the way. But just getting packed up and getting ready to head out.
We used Highway 50 to head out of the Tahoe area, and this road offered some breathtaking views and some fun twisty roads to ride through. But it wasn't long before we were in the Central Valley, where the temperatures once again reached over 100 degrees. We quickly raced through that area towards the coast, where we finally had some relief from the heat. We made a quick pit stop over at Super Duper Burger and grabbed some lunch, and after that we headed towards Highway 1, which all of us were very eager and excited to see and ride.
Mitch, thoughts on the day?
This is all I ever wanted. Like, this is bucket list crossed right before my 35th birthday too. So,
Perfect.
Hitting it, man.
What do you think? What'd you think of the road coming in? How did it feel riding on the bike? You've been here without the bike.
Yeah, it's not even the same. Not even the same road. I got a little teary-eyed. It was awesome.
What did you think of the Coast Highway so far?
Primo.
How's your day going so far?
Other than it being super hot at the beginning, it's not too bad now.
Perfect.
Sure.
Awesome.
Worth it.
We made it to the Pacific Coast Highway, and now we are just riding to Dillon Beach along the highway. And so far, the views have been absolutely incredible, especially seeing them on the bike. It feels like like a first time being here, even though Mitch and I, we were here back in May, but it feels a lot different on the bike. So I'm excited to see what the rest of this road looks like, because past this point, I have not seen it, and I'm on the bike, so it makes it that much better. But we're about an hour away from our campsite, and I think all three of us are pretty much ready to set up camp and rest, right, guys?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, onward and onward.
After another long day of riding, we finally made it to our campsite at Dillon Beach. While the day may have started off in a hot, scorching heat, it was totally worth it because the ride along the coast was absolutely breathtaking, especially during sunset with those golden hour colors. I think we were all very, very happy with how this day turned out.
Good morning. We camped out at Dillon Beach overnight. It's a really pretty little area. Got there a little bit late, so kind of missed the sunset, but it was nice and chill. And after riding in the Key, going through Sacramento yesterday, it was a very nice change being by the coast where it's just 60 degrees right now, 67, 70, around there. So probably feels great, and the coast highway is breathtaking. It is beautiful. So I think all three of us are excited to keep riding it today. We stopped for some lunch in Bodega Bay after having kind of a late, nice, relaxing morning, and today we're heading up to Fort Bragg. So gonna be riding all along the coast, and should be a good day. made a quick stop at Fort Ross. It's a state historic site along Route 1, and it is an old Russian American colony, which is pretty interesting. I wanted to stop by and check it out real quick because I saw it online. I thought it looked cool. So, just a quick little walk from the parking area. There's a few old buildings you can see through the trees here. I'll stop by here real quick and then continue on to Fort Bragg. What's your impression of the day so far?
Good. It's awesome views the whole time. Been great.
You think of the coast highway?
It's totally worth it. Absolutely worth getting across everything for sure.
Yeah. Mitch, what are your thoughts on the day so far?
I'm pretty content with life, man. This is, yeah, worth it every single mile. All that ass ache, and the lack of shower.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's good, man. I'm happy.
We're continuing on the Pacific Coast Highway up towards Fort Bragg. Decided to stop at this nice overlook, and pretty much throughout the entire ride, the views have been like this. The road kind of weaves inland a little bit and then back out towards the coast, but this is one of the best. It's probably the best road I've ridden so far, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to. I'm excited to see what the rest of it has for us.
Okay, so we made it to our Airbnb in Fort Bragg. It's a very nice space. We got so much room. We each have our own room, so we're not going to kill each other overnight, for now at least. Today was an awesome day. We rode from Dillon Beach to Fort Bragg, all on Highway 1, and the views from the highway are just stunning. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful road with lots of twisties, so it's perfect for a motorcycle. And I think every one of us here agrees that it's probably one of the best roads we've ridden. Emerson, thoughts on the day?
I think it's probably one of the best roads we've ever ridden.
Perfect. Mitch, what about you?
I disagree. I think it actually is the best road we've ever ridden, but you should wear sunscreen.
Yeah, I should wear sunscreen. I am a little red from, I think it's camping. I'm just waiting there this morning. And my face is a little red, and my neck from being exposed to the sun while on the ride. So wear your sunscreen, even if you're on a motorcycle and wearing a bunch of gear. But the nice thing about today is it wasn't ungodly hot like it was the last couple of days. Riding up the coast, it was about in the 60s pretty much the entire way up. So it was very nice. We got some nice seafood in Bodega Bay, and then just headed up the coast, and it was wonderful and
Also nice.
very nice.
This place is nice.
Stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is the end of this part. The next morning, we found ourselves back again on the Pacific Coast Highway. This time, we were heading north of Fort Bragg in search of a trail that I found on Google Maps a few days earlier. It was called Usal Road, and there we were expecting to see some more beautiful views of the coast, as well as get in some fun off-roading. all the way up there basically. Coming down some steep-ish off-road sections, which make me nervous, but I did not drop my bike and made it down here in one piece, so that made me very happy. And now I think we're just gonna take a little break here and then head back into town. But it's a very fun road, very fun road.
That road at Snow Basin doesn't seem so bad now. All right, Emerson, we just finished the Lost Coast Trail, Ursel Trail
Something like that. Yeah.
road up to beach. How was it?
Awesome. I thought it was super scenic, a little challenging, steep downhill stuff, but most of all, I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The beach was beautiful.
The beach was awesome.
And riding through that forest was
totally
amazing.
worth it. Absolutely.
Sweet. Mitch, your thoughts on the Lost Coast Trail, Ursel Road?
It was really cool. I was very nervous though. Like even sitting on the beach, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get up that hill. It was steep, but then once I got past that, even getting up, it wasn't as bad. I was just in my head a lot.
Yeah.
But the beach itself was beautiful. It's really cool that you have to take that off-road trail to get there. So, yeah.
It's pretty sweet. We are back on the Pacific Coast Highway, and we just got down from Ursel Road, or I've seen it called the Lost Coast Highway too. So one of the two, and it was a little bit more. I watched a YouTube video on this beforehand, and it did not look as technical as it appeared, or as it was when we got to it. I was a little nervous about the downhill sections, especially coming back, because they go into a lot of turns. Once I got there, I mean, there's not much else I could do except go back because it's the only way. And I did it. I didn't drop my bike. No one dropped their bikes.
Nope, not this time.
Which is awesome.
No parking lots.
Close.
No parking lots. Emerson remembered his kickstand this time. And we all made it down safe and sound. Another little off-road section done. That was fun.
Yep.
Now we're going to go back into Fort Bragg and then grab some food and then take it easy for the rest of the day. We are back at our Airbnb. We made it back to Fort Bragg. Once again, all in one piece, and we enjoyed the ride back on the coastal highway once again. This time it was on the opposite side, so it was even better because we got kind of closer view. And then we helped ourselves some very delicious seafood, some very delicious fish and chips.
What was it called?
At Noyo Fish Company down in Fort Bragg. So it's great stuff. And then we enjoyed the sunset all together, all three of us.
All together.
Pretty cute.
And it was a great day overall. And I feel like it was like a good amount of stuff. We didn't leave too early, we didn't get back too late. It was a nice little well-rounded day. Emerson, thoughts on the day?
Well-rounded day. It was fun. It's gonna be sad to leave the beach and the coast after this, but I'm ready to get back inland.
What would you think of the Pacific Coast highway between where we
Fort
rode?
Bragg and where we were at?
Yeah,
Awesome.
where we
It
rode
was
today.
So good. And we were a little closer.
Yeah,
Because we were coming back on
we were.
the right side of the
All right. What's your thoughts on the day?
Like you guys said, honestly, like it was a beautiful ride up, ride back. But beyond that, and with the beach being like my happy place and everything, it was really cool, especially because it's like me myself. I don't know about you, but it was challenging doing the off-road bit we did.
Yeah.
And I'd worked myself up into like I was a little nervous trying to get back up that hill at first, and then I made it up no problem. And I was like, oh, I'm golden, let's go, and it was
Nice.
So I was like, it was an amazing ride today, all day today, and I got to I feel like I got to grow as a rider a little bit. Actually,
Perfect.
break out of some habits and
Yeah.
get out there. So yeah, it was sweet.
Overall, it was a really good day, and I think all three of us had a pretty awesome time with both the little off-road trail and then riding the Pacific Coast Highway. I was a little nervous about the trail going down hills, but then I did it. None of us dropped our bikes. We all made it through, and yeah, that was the day. And now
I got
we're
stuck
once
in
again-
mud for like a few seconds.
Emerson got stuck in sand.
Yeah.
And now, once again, we're rounding up the day with a game of Sorry. And that's it. So, tomorrow we're heading back east. Good morning. We are on our final days of our California trip. We are camping one more night, and then we have one last night in Reno, and that one's basically just a layover night, so we don't have to ride as far through Nevada afterwards to get home. It's a little foggy this morning, a little chilly, but I'm okay with that because it's going to be hot through where we're riding through, like Central California. And then we're going to hit up a section of the BDR again, the California NoCal BDR.
And then after that, we're going to camp for the night. So we'll see how it goes.
We took Highway 20 out of Fort Bragg, which led us almost all the way to the Northern California BDR section that we were planning on riding to our campsite. The day started off really well. Emerson got a new tire, we got some breakfast, and we enjoyed some beautiful views on Highway 20. Soon we reached the town of Goodyear Bar, where we turned off the roads and once again ended up on the Northern California BDR, which we were planning on taking all the way to our campground at Jackson Meadows Reservoir.
False advertising.
While most of this trail was pretty smooth sailing, we did encounter one section that really challenged all of us. But unfortunately, I was the only person recording at the time, so the only perspective I have is my own.
I wish I was recording that.
And luckily, I was. What happened was that this section involved a lot of loose rocks, chunky loose rocks, and I am not an experienced off-road rider, and this was a very challenging spot for me. The bike felt like it was weaving all over the place, and as you saw, I put my foot down a couple of times to make sure it doesn't fall. At this point, I ended up waiting for Emerson and Mitch for a good 10 to 15 minutes, and I was getting worried that one of them got hurt. I hiked back down and then saw Emerson coming up on his bike. What happened was that Emerson did end up dropping his bike. he was fine, and so was Mitch. Mitch, however, ended up turning around and heading back towards the paved road, and took the long way down to the campsite. Meanwhile, Emerson and I continued on the dirt roads towards our campsite at Jackson Meadows Reservoir. We were hasty to get off the trails before it got too dark, but we did get some stunning views of the mountains and a wonderful sunset. We eventually, in the pitch of night, made it down to the Jackson Meadows campground, where we also reunited with Mitch, who made it there safe and sound. Weary from the long day of traveling, we quickly set up camp and tuned out for the night.
Okay, it's our last day here in California. We had a pretty interesting day yesterday. We did a section of the BDR. It got a little rough. Emerson ended up dropping his bike twice. Mitch turned around because his tires were bad. And while Emerson and I continued on, and we did end up making it to Jackson Meadows Reservoir, which it was a very beautiful ride up at the top. Dirt road, but it was definitely pretty challenging to get up there, especially with the bikes all packed down and the luggage and everything like that. But overall, it was still a really, really fun day. And now, right now, we're just enjoying some lunch at this really awesome little cafe here. And then we're gonna head back down to Lake Tahoe, chill there for a little bit, and then finally turn in for the night in Reno before heading back home tomorrow morning. Emerson, what did you think about the day yesterday?
A little beat up, a little bruised up, but it's fun. Made it. Felt challenging.
How'd you feel about dropping your bike on that section?
Just another time.
Yeah.
Keep dropping it, I guess. As long as
Nothing.
I don't break it.
Yeah, nothing broke, nothing hurt.
Nothing's broke. Nothing's hurt on the bike. I'm a little sore, but
Perfect.
worth
Good,
it.
good time overall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, Mitch, you ended up turning around yesterday.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
I mean, it sucked because I really did want to get up that hill, but I mean I was just all over the place. I had no traction whatsoever on that thing, so it was just yeah. I didn't think about the tires. I thought they were, I don't know. I just didn't register them at all.
Yeah.
But
How was the road?
the road was still fun. I still had fun.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry that I didn't get to finish any section of the BDR that we did on this trip. So
It's all right. It can happen.
yeah.
Okay, we are back in Nevada. Left California, rode out from Sierraville, back down to Lake Tahoe, chilled there for a minute. I took a nice dip in the water. It was cold, but felt very refreshing. And now we're heading back towards Reno. We're gonna spend one night there and then head back home tomorrow. So I'm just gonna wrap up this series. This nice little view of the Sierras. Sure. Behind me.
Mount Rose.
Mount Rose, yeah. It's one of those peaks. But it was a great trip. I think we all had a very good time. We did, well, by the time we get back to Utah, it's gonna be over 2,000 miles that we've done on this trip. Through twisty coastal highways, twisty mountain roads, to dirt roads that Emerson dragged our asses down on, which was very fun and also very difficult, but it's a very good experience overall. And yeah, this is the longest motorcycle trip either one of us have done. And so we covered a lot of ground and we did a lot of very fun things and learned a lot more about our bikes than we ever would have otherwise. Great stuff, great stuff. Mitch, what was your favorite part of the trip?
California, the beach. The beach.
What was your favorite part of riding it?
Lost Coast Highway. That was we found that road. I was a little nervous getting up and down that, but it was like really nice to go get to that beach where you can only get to by that road.
Sweet.
It was cool, and it was educational. I know what I need to do as far as my off-road journey now. Better tires.
What did you learn about taking such a long trip?
Get tires.
About yourself and the bike.
Yeah, at this point, like I'm okay to just take like easy dirt roads. I don't need like chunky hills. I don't need to go super fast. I just like to do it for fun. So.
Sweet. Emerson, what was your favorite part of the trip?
I think the favorite part of the trip was just the varied amount of terrain that we hit between sand and beautiful red wood-filled mountain roads, and yeah, all the fog from the Pacific Coast Highway. It was just a great amount of varied terrain.
Out of all the roads we've ridden, which one was your favorite one?
That's a tough one. Getting to that secluded beach on the Lost Coast Highway was really awesome. I think what we did the other night was super cool, getting to the Jackson Meadow campground, that section of the BDR. Like feeling a bit challenged, sometimes a little too much challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, just anytime off-road, I'm into it.
Perfect. What did you learn about yourself and the bike?
That's a tough one. I don't think it's that hard to travel on the bike, to be honest. Like I don't, I have more room to spread out than you guys do. I don't know, the bike really didn't give me any challenges or anything, so that's a hard one to answer. I don't fucking know.
That works. All right, well, that concludes our California adventure. 7 days. 7 days. At the end of it, it's going to be over 2,000 miles and a whole lot of fun. So thank you all for watching. Thanks you to Mitch and Emerson for putting up with my vlogging and stopping for pictures often, not too often.
Not too bad.
Yeah, but hopefully we'll have some good memories out of this. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.